I saw 3 split precincts. One had 1 human being in it, and there were a couple that had none. None. So why don't we? I mean, don't get me started.
Thank you, Ms. Falila.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I guess the first question I want to ask, why now? Why not 4 years ago if we had to be in compliance with the law with this redistricting?
You want to answer that question?
Yes.
Okay, 4 years ago, we had a council election. 4 years hence, you have another.
Right.
Now, you had some referendum. But those don't have to be redistricted because every vote counts equally. A single question, every vote counts the same. The mayor's race, every vote counts the same.
Right.
In council races, you have districts, and they have to be proportionate to get the way to it.
Okay,
So we don't do it until we have to do it.
Okay, so why didn't we have to do it, say this time last year?
Why did we?
Yeah, instead of waiting right as we are the cusp.
We did it.
I know you didn't. I'm just saying, I mean, why now? Here it is, we have an election coming
I
up.
told you I started in May. Back in May, based on what the election commission had done to that point, okay? And then I started working from that point.
Okay. So I guess we should be directing if there's some questions to the election commission and why were they dragging their feet? I mean, because this all seems so orchestrated. Every time we get ready to have an election, they're closing precincts. The voters are confused. People go to one place that they think is open, and it's not. And they're not communicated to as to where we have moved your voting precinct. And some people just get so fed up. You were just talking a minute ago about, we were seeing something on the statistical data about, you have all of these people, but it's the majority of them in that particular statistical number don't vote. And then we wonder why, especially African Americans, when it rains, but if it's not raining, why they don't vote. And it may be that some people just get frustrated or just say, well, I knew I used to vote right here at Christ United. I go up to Christ United, they tell me I got to go halfway across town. I don't have the transportation to do that, so forget it.
I have never seen this many moves in 6 month period. But I think it's important. I mean, I understand their job because some polling places go, I don't want to do it anymore. So they have to go find someone else and contract with them. I mean, people move. And once they move and they know there's one registered voter somewhere, they're not going to have a polling place just for that person. So, I mean, I get it. And like I said, to make it easier for us, if we went strict, if we got our map together, our boundaries tight along streets and whatever, and we adopted our ordinance based on those maps and not based on all this ever-evolving, changing in districts and consolidations and splits. Remember, after we did it in 11, you had a seat change in the General Assembly. They redistricted. Okay? And they did it for a reason. Okay? That changed the whole apple cart. Not only for them, but for the configuration of what we're dealing with. So, I mean, that's kind of an explanation. I know, I believe that it is possible to move as few precincts as possible. And, I'm in favor of taking some of them that are split and unsplitting as much as we can. And I do not believe that's going to have a serious impact on the candidates. That's just my opinion.
All right, Ms. Knox, then Mr. Berlin-Boyd. And before Ms. Knox comes up, I want to repeat something that you've read about what I've said in the public, and that is that we should not affect anyone who's a qualified candidate. And I know that's what it means. I understand what Alan said, but I firmly believe that if somebody's qualified, they should not be disqualified. Ms. Knox, you wanted to make a comment?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify for the record that Carol Chumney is not my counsel in any matters, and that we have not talked about, I've not talked to her at all, but I certainly have not discussed suing the city over this. So I'm not sure why she would have said that, if it was said, but I just want to make sure that that is actually on the record. Thank you.
That's good to put that on the record. Thank you very much. Mr. Boyd?
Thank you.
It raised a question for me since I've been hearing Attorney Wade and my fellow colleagues make various statements. Should we consider or start looking into if the city of Memphis could possibly be responsible and hold our own elections? For example, in most cities where a city court clerk handles elections versus, because we always hear these various conspiracy theories with the election commission, and there's always a question. So I know the city of Memphis pays the Shelby County Election Commission to hold elections. I'm just putting it out there for a question.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. But what you're asking for, we create a whole new staff. We pay $1 million plus for an election.
Let me get to the point. The state statutes create a county-wide election commission. You would have to alter that structure to be able to have Now, I mean, in my limited experience with this, you guys are the politicians, I'm just a lawyer. I don't know about politics, I don't think this body holds that body as accountable as we should. I mean, and I think it's easy for us to sit here and jack them up every time we don't like something. But unless you sitting there, putting pressure on them all the time, you should see the things they do. That's ridiculous.
And that's the reason why I raised the question before, Mr. Chairman, you were coming. I mean, I think that the reason we find ourselves in these positions because we don't think outside the box sometimes. We stay complacent in the box. I try to bring out the box thinking. And the only thing I'm saying, if our citizens pay over $1 million to the election commission for them to hold our elections, we should have some say into how
we do, and we should. Let me point out to you, we had a referendum in '97 to put a payroll tax on charter members, and we passed it. We submitted it to the election commission. The election commission got the state coordinator involved. He said, "Oh no, you can't put that on there. It's unconstitutional. You can't put that on there." So we went to Chancellor Court, and Chancellor ruled that the state election coordination was right. And we couldn't put it on there. So we went to the Supreme Court, straight to the Supreme Court. They took the case, and in 5 days rendered an opinion saying the state election coordinator was wrong. Those people are order takers. We are the order makers, okay? We tell them what we want done in our election, they have to do. And that came up recently in the Joe Cooper case where they wouldn't accept his petition. Judge Coward ruled that they are a ministerial body, citing our case, they have to do what they have to accept his petition. And I only say that to say that we can be more vigilant in what we want them to do. If they're making 117 of these changes, and all of them are within the boundaries of the city, and doing what you're saying, we ought to have somebody that is monitoring what's happening. I mean, that's just my humble opinion, but what do I know?
Well,